Heather, and hopefully I'm not disturbing people at the Panera as I go over the syllabus with you guys. So this is Human Behavior and Social Environment 1, and it's online, so that's what you need to know first off. My office hours, you're welcome to come see me in person if you want to. They're on Wednesday and Friday. I will also have live chat on my office computer on, so if you need to chat with me live from the class, you're welcome to do that. That live chat is also helpful for you guys to do group work, to talk to each other for your group work. I don't expect you guys to discuss on Blackboard. I just need one person to be the leader of the activity and put the summary of what you guys talk about, right? So really, if there's questions, answering those questions, or if I'm asking you to teach your classmates a concept, then I want you to come up with a really simple presentation, or you could even video yourselves saying what you think of that concept. And I hope that leadership changes throughout. So those people that are stepping up to write things, and to also, if you're videoing things, I see that as really good participation, excellent participation. So hopefully you guys will share that responsibility. So I'm just going to go through the syllabus with you guys. The course description, really we're going to be going over mostly developmental theory from pregnancy through adolescence. So we're covering chapters 1 through 9. And then in HBSE 2 you'll be covering young adult to death, really. Sounds exciting, huh? Okay. You'll see there's competencies. Hopefully you're becoming familiar with the CSW competencies. The syllabus talks about which competencies we'll be working mostly on in this class. In your field classes, you guys will be covering all the competencies, but engaging diversity and difference, working with individuals, families, groups, and organizations, and doing some assessments. So really knowing what fits within normal and abnormal for development, and also where those things come from. What might be considered abnormal in the United States might not be considered abnormal in another part of the world. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And some interventions that are used to, or just thinking through the intervention piece, like how would you intervene, start thinking about how you would intervene, problem solving around micro, meso, macro interventions for some of these developmental issues, if that makes sense. Okay. So there's lots of different types of assignments and activities, in part because everyone's different and certain people excel at some things and other people excel at other things. So there are some creative pieces which some students find really weird because they haven't had that in a while. There's writing reflections and sort of old-fashioned multiple choice tests, quiz type small tests. So there's lots of different ways to excel in the class. Okay. So in terms of the text is Understanding Human Behavior. And there will be some reading assignments, not very many on Blackboard, really to get at diversity where there isn't a lot in the book. I sort of supplemented with some articles. And then there's 2 films that you guys will have to watch. I will show them on campus, but you can also access them through OhioLink, your public library, Netflix, Amazon Video. So there are other ways, so if you want to watch them before I show them, you're welcome to do that, especially if you can't come on campus. I am not tech support for this class, so you want to make sure that if you're having any kind of difficulty, I have the tech support listed on the syllabus. You will be doing at least an intro YouTube video. I think that when you're doing the teach a concept, it would also be smart to do video or PowerPoint or something simple that gets across the concept so you guys can get to know your classmates a little better. I think it's easier to do that face to face or get to see people's faces, like you're getting to see mine right now. Anyhow, also realize if you're going to do YouTube at all and downloading, put a link, that it's going to take a little time for that to happen. So give yourself plenty of time to get it into link form. Most of you have done that stuff, so you don't need instructions, but if you're worried and you haven't done it before, I do have some really lame instructions on how to do a YouTube video that I can pass along to you. Diversity inclusion, hopefully you'll be seeing that in all the syllabi, university policies, accommodations. If you're needing any kind of accommodation, I should be hearing from the Student Disability Services Office about what kind of accommodation you need. Plagiarism, obviously academic honesty, making sure you're not improperly using other people's thoughts. So mostly you'll be referencing the textbook. There'll be times where it's smart to reference a textbook, particularly if you're quoting directly from the textbook. Participation, you guys will need to be making comments on time, being involved in what's going on online. There are groups and partner projects. There's a group and partner assignment. So you'll see I've put you guys into groups and to partnerships, so make sure you check with that. You want to check really early in the week, I'd say, on Monday or even Sunday, what the plan for the week will be, and then touching base with your partner and your group depending on what needs to get done. Okay, so the online activities will be that way. Your papers and major assignments will be done by you, so your participation will really be impacted by how well you work in a group and with your partner, and you'll be asked to reflect on that, how well it's going. If you're having any trouble with your group or your partner, I want you to try to talk to them first, and if that doesn't work, then talk to me. Realize that that's professional courtesy is to talk to the person first and try to resolve it yourself, and then if that doesn't work, letting me know so that I can work on it for you. Again, reading the chapter early on in the week is smart because everything after that will be you won't be needing to all the activities were based on the reading, so you wanted to check with your partners in group about times to do the activities, and then make sure you're reading pretty early in the week. If you get in that pattern, then you'll do well with what's due by the end of the week. Okay. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh. All right. Communication. Email's the best way to get a hold of me. Again, I love office hours and have live chat for you. Late assignments will be docked. That's all in here. It's a 1,000-point scale. So the assignments, the main assignments are your online activities. There's a family analysis that's based on the film Raising Victor Vargas. You'll have an identity, activity, and assignment. Your group work, how well that's going. And there will be an implicit ism paper and project, which I'll go into more thoroughly, and then open book tests and chapter reflections, and of course your attendance and participation. So in the Teach a Concept, so I'm going through the brief assignment descriptions. The Teach a Concept is we're breaking down the chapters into some concepts, and then the group talking about them and doing their best to present to the rest of the group. That can either be PowerPoint or video or some creative way to try to have your other classmates sort of learn the concept from you. So you get to be a teacher in those times, okay? The chapter reflections, I'm wanting to know what you liked about the chapter, what you thought might be missing from the chapter, how you think the chapter applies to your social work profession, what you will be doing as a social worker. There's going to be online activities every week to help you guys engage with each other and to really engage with the textbook so that you're learning things. Just so you guys know, this class is really important to your licensure exam. All of these theories will most likely have some of questions from your licensure exam. So if you think of this class and reading the text as study for your licensure, that's probably smart. Might as well study now, so that when you graduate you will pass and you can get a job right away. There are some separate readings when it says online activities. There's two papers that are written from sort of a first-person narrative to get at some diversity issues. So I want you guys to sort of get a sense of a person's experience versus textbook. So that's what the films help to do, and also the articles. So they're not necessarily fun reading. They're a little bit hard to read, particularly the Baldwin piece. Baldwin piece is very, very hard to read. It's not pleasant. Again, to get at sort of what oppression looks like, what discrimination looks like, so you guys have an idea of what to build empathy for what your clients might be going through. And the written assignments, I've already sort of talked about the papers, and we'll go through those. There's an assignment guide on Blackboard that goes through each of the assignments, right? So the things that are coming up first is to read Chapter 1 this week. Also to do an introductory video of yourself and post that to Blackboard so that your group can watch them. And then your smaller group comments on your video. So you guys get to know each other a little bit better, and hopefully I will get one up this week too, so you guys will get to know me a little bit better. There's also Chapter 1 sort of review, a PowerPoint, and I'll make a video hopefully to be a companion to that. There's some discussions on Blackboard, so look for that. The resiliency activity, and there's a Chapter 1 discussion. So, looking in the discussion part of Blackboard for what the instructions are there, and then if it's a group activity, there's you'll see Group A through G. So that's the first real thing this week, and every week I will go through what we have next to do in terms of major assignments. The next major assignment that's due after your intro video is the pregnancy interview. So you might want to look at that assignment guide too, so that you're going to want to think of someone to interview about their pregnancy. So you might want to pinpoint someone already. The gray area, the syllabus, I'm still updating the activities. I've taught this class in class and not online before, so I'm trying to translate what will go on in class to online. So I will slowly but surely update that. Okay, I think that is all I have. If you guys have questions, please let me know.